Welcome back to What If It's True podcast with me and Noah Tinnerington. We're here with Jim Boyle, and today we're going to be doing a what if question.
All right, so I'll read some questions. You guys got to answer them. So we'll go to Jim first. So Jim, what's the most important invention nobody talks about?
The wheel.
Okay.
Nobody talks about the wheel because the wheel helped make us a mobile society. They invented the wheel back in the Stone Ages. If they had invented like the square, you'd never be able to roll. So the wheel makes them roll. So I think we never talk about the wheel anymore. We always talk about the internet. And we always talk about satellites and airplanes. But without the wheel, nothing happens.
True.
Josh, what do you got?
Low key? Listen, the hammer. Because hammers build everything. And that's probably what they built the wheel with.
There you go. Hey, Josh gets that point.
All right. Okay, let me see. Let me get a good one. Well, which assassination changed history the most?
I would say Archduke Franz Ferdinand, when he got killed in the teens, started World War One, which then led us to World War Two, and to where we are today. I think that assassination had the most impact on the world and how it played out, because it spawned Hitler as well. So that would be my one. What do you got, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing, but like if I couldn't say that, maybe JFK, just because we don't know how things would be different. And that we would be like mostly affected by it in America.
Or you could say the assassination of Julius Caesar.
Why?
Et tu, Brute? Because they killed the greatest guy, and then the Roman Empire died after that.
Yeah.
Who else
Okay.
got killed, Josh?
Didn't they jump him?
Yeah, they did. They ambushed him, and
What happened? I don't even know the story.
Brutus and his buddies were not happy with Caesar, and they killed him. They stabbed him, right? Is that right? They stabbed him. Yeah, that was a long time ago, though, before my time. So was Ferdinand, but the Archduke.
Archduke. All right, let me see. Wait, no, this is a tough one. That's a tough one.
Don't go ahead. I don't care.
What's a bizarre law from history that actually existed?
Ooh, that is a tough one. Probably if you go back to really ancient times, like biblical times, where if you stole something, they cut your hand off.
They still do that. They do
I
that
know.
in like Sudan.
Isn't that the question? They still do it?
That actually existed.
Oh, it actually existed.
It's
They
like-
still do that?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
Oh no, the Congo, I think maybe. It's like something like that. They in Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they do. But that's like...
That's
cool.
weird.
They cut your hands off if you steal something.
That's crazy.
Okay, so I got to come up with something
That's
different.
crazy, dude. And
A bizarre law
that actually existed.
actually existed.
Like something that's
I don't know
crazy.
if it's a
that,
law, but,
that
like,
you wouldn't believe existed.
The sacrifice thing.
That's a
Yeah.
law. That was a law.
I don't know if it's a law, but it's
That's
something
like a
they did.
practice.
Yeah, you're right. Wow.
That's a tough question.
What's a bizarre law that actually... How about prohibition?
Okay.
We're in the right before 1920, went to prohibition, which was bizarre because everybody was drinking anyway.
Yeah.
And then we immediately repealed it, like
Yeah.
5 years later. And that spawned the mob and all that other fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to go with prohibition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably the
I don't know
same
this
thing,
one.
dude. That's kind of what I would say too.
Yeah.
Which historical event sounds fake but is completely true?
I would say 9/11. It's not really a historical event. It sounds fake. The two buildings completely collapsing.
Yeah.
Like if you were scripting a movie, I don't even think you would write that. But that's too recent. What's a historical event that sounds true? How about Adam and Eve? Eve took the apple, baby, and all shit hit the fan.
So you think that's completely true?
No. I think I shouldn't have said that. I think 9/11, but that's...
I think 9/11 is a good one.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying
that
it's
is.
a historical event.
That sounds fake but is true.
Boy, dude, those are hard questions.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of mean to me here. I'm going to... 9/11 is too recent, but I like that answer. I don't know. Josh, can you bail me out, please?
I don't know. I was gonna say 9/11 too.
I think he stumped us on this one. That's a good question. Noah has stumped us.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, he's got another good one. I'm in trouble.
Which historical punishment was the cruelest?
Oh, God.
Oh my God! You know the brazen bull?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that where it's like a, what's it called?
It's a bowl. It's like a metal bowl, right? And
Yeah.
they put you in and they like heat it.
They heat the bottom of
Heat
it,
the bottom of it.
and you like cook in it.
And you like literally like fry in there.
How about like the Vietnamese used to put like bamboo shoots right at your fingernails and tie you down, and or not really.
What, to, like,
in
prisoners
another
of
part of
war?
the anatomy, and they tie you down, and it would grow, and you couldn't move, and it would just grow and kill you.
Oh my God!
That's
Wait, did they do that to prisoners of war? Or
I don't know
is
where
that
they
just
did
like a
it.
normal...
I just heard that as a rumor. That might be one of those conspiracy theory things I heard.
That's probably
But it was
true.
kind of weird though, because the bamboo grows. And bamboo is like supposedly a very solid piece,
Yeah.
and it grows and it kills you eventually.
What about like, you know, like Vlad the Impaler?
Ugh.
You, like impale people like that. That's crazy. Imagine that.
I think that chopping your head off is the best.
Get a guillotine.
Yeah, that's
Guillotine
probably
is
the
That's
easiest way.
crazy.
Or like,
That I would. That but that I would want to get the guillotine if I was gonna get killed.
Well, you're gonna
'Cause
die
then I'll
anyway.
just die immediately. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
get like tortured. Like
That's
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
question, but you come up with a good question.
what?
If you're gonna be put to death,
Oh, what? Okay, which one would you guys pick?
I would just give me the
wait, like modern day?
any kind.
Any
I'll
kind.
probably just get shot.
If you get, I mean,
Just get me, like shoot me like right in the
Just
head.
shoot
just
me.
blow the head off.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
shot?
shoot me up with the
12
chemicals,
gauge.
and I just pass away peacefully.
Actually, yeah, or that.
It's
What?
like easy.
But what if that you
Just
know
give me
you don't
this
know if that
crap in
hurts.
my arm and you die.
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of freaky to ask that
I
question.
would get the guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Noah's head be rolling down with that hat on backwards, be rolling down the alleyway.
Yeah, but then you just be in there waiting.
Oh yeah, just think about the
Oh,
anticipation.
no. Wouldn't the Vikings like cut your head off and then put it on like
Spike.
wouldn't they like do something with it and like?
Yes.
Did you know in the movie like it's in Gladiator? Is it in Gladiator where like throw the dude's head?
Yeah, they used to take the head and put it on a spike and stick. You have a stake, not a
Yeah.
spike, and they'd stick the head right on top of it, and it looked right at you like that.
Was it the Vikings or who was it?
I don't know who that
I
was.
thought that was like Genghis Khan.
Maybe it was.
Maybe. I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
they would all when they wanted to get rid of you, they got rid of you. But I would take the easy way out, just slowly but surely put the chemicals in me. But you're
Oh.
right. There's no anticipation. Okay, that's actually a good question.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Vikings, I have a question right here. Do you think the Vikings were overrated or underrated?
Well, Minnesota Vikings have lost 5 or 6 Super Bowls, so I think they're definitely overrated.
I'm not saying the football team, buddy.
Oh, that was about the real Vikings.
Yeah. The
I think
football team
Vikings.
is
I think the
trash.
Vikings are criminally underrated in history because of their domination of the North Atlantic and the fact that they probably did come over to North America and establish residency here. I think they're criminally underrated because they're not from Italy or Spain, where all the Renaissance and money was. But I think definitely underrated.
Yeah, and nobody talks about them like in general.
Plus,
Yeah.
they've lost like 6 Super Bowls. And
Yeah.
they can't even keep a quarterback.
Okay. Which ancient society was ahead of its time?
Egypt,
I think
definitely Egypt.
Egypt was. I'm going to go with the Mayans and the Incas down in South America, Central America.
Because they
Just
have-
because they had the ability to. The Egyptians, Josh is absolutely right. They built those pyramids with only help from the aliens. We can't even do that here. No, they might have been aliens, but I think the Egyptians, just the things that they did and how advanced that they were at that point in
crazy.
time. You brought up something on one of our podcasts about the Egyptians and how they were maybe as advanced as we were, and then they all died off or something
Yeah.
happened because I think the Egyptians. I think a lot of ancient societies were a lot more advanced than we were.
Like advanced, like maybe advanced than like we are right now, and then something like a big event happens,
Right.
wipes them all out, and they go back to like cavemen with like sticks and stones
Right.
and stuff like that.
But that's true. And then like the library at Alexandria is no longer in existence. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be this great librry. They had knowledge.
Didn't
and
have
they-
like 90% of history in it or something
Yeah.
like that, like something crazy.
And then they also built pyramids. They built all these, everything they built that was engineered properly.
Yeah.
So math and engineering, right? The Phoenicians. That was an easy question. You gotta come with a tougher one. It's too easy.
All right. Which president would make the best podcast guest?
All time.
All-time president?
Yeah.
I would say Abe Lincoln. All
Okay.
time. All time, I'm going to go Abe because he was a cerebral kind of dude. And he was tall. He wore that hat. No, I go Abe
Top
Lincoln.
hat.
Top. No, it was
Whatever.
it wasn't a pipe hat, right? What do they call that hat?
I don't know, dude.
So what do you got, Josh?
I don't know. Maybe
Living
like
or dead? All time, then
Bro, I
living.
would-
all time, probably like JFK, because I feel like he would know a lot that like we don't know now.
True. How about you?
I mean, I'll probably do Trump because it would be a pretty crazy podcast. I think.
Yeah.
It would be pretty crazy.
Yes. It would be beyond crazy.
Yeah,
would
living,
be-
living. I would
it would
probably
be
pick.
Living,
fun.
I do Obama.
It would be fun.
If I had my when we do the all boils down to this, if I could get one guest, I would take President Obama. 'Cause he knows sports. He's intelligent. He's not crazy. I would take Obama if we had living, and if it was dead, I'd like to have Lincoln on. What's next? That's a good question.
All right. Okay, let me see. What do you think the pyramids were used for in Egypt? Like, what were the pyramids
Well, they
used
were
for?
built to house the dead bodies of the pharaohs.
Oh, I don't know that.
No, but that's what they were.
Is that what
that's
they,
what they
is that
tell
what
us
they
they
used
were
for?
used for.
Okay,
I
so,
think
yeah.
I think they were used to bring. They were lined up correctly so the aliens could bring their spaceships in right into Egypt and help them build stuff.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Aren't they like lined up with the stars though?
Yeah, they're all. But yes, they were.
Yeah, so
they
I don't
were.
know.
But again, the real purpose was to have crazy people go visit them 4,000 years later. No, but I think that the real purpose was to bury their dead, and that it was a monument to the pharaoh. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, which this show sometimes is about, it was probably so the aliens would. If you think about it, if you fly in from the sky, right, you can see the pyramids. They line you up, and you land right there. So they bring their spaceships and all their magic. And I'm only kidding. That's a
Dude,
good.
you literally were talking about that for like 2 minutes.
I like talking about things like for 2 minutes. It's fun. I think that's just a crock of crap, but
You think? I feel like you know too much to think it's not real. I feel like you slightly think.
no,
The
I
aliens
think
could
that
be
in the
real.
end, my intellectual side would say there's probably a slight possibility that they were helped, but where have the aliens been for 4,000 years to help us with other things? Did they only come once and say this world is terrible?
They died.
They died. They did die. But I think they were built for purposes of housing and as memorials to their dead pharaohs. I
Okay.
just like to talk conspiracy theories with you guys because it's fun.
Okay. Were ancient myths based on real events?
No. What's
Yeah,
an ancient?
I don't understand.
Noah's Ark.
Like myths, like
Oh.
like Zeus, right? Like stuff like that.
Well, yeah, those weren't. Like a myth.
Or like I don't know, like
Noah's Ark. Is Noah's Ark real?
hell
No
yeah.
idea.
Yeah?
Noah's Ark, SoundCloud.
It's me. I'm Noah's Ark, so
Oh, that's right, you are. No, no, I think that they're not. I think most myths are stories that have been passed down from generation to generation.
yeah.
Try to explain stuff that happened that they couldn't explain.
Yeah.
All myths and stuff that are unexplainable events, I think, are just, and it's the way we comfort ourselves with stories about everything. We'll pass down stories, and even family stories are somewhat embellished, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather dropped the nuclear bomb on Japan, which isn't true, but it could be a myth. So you embellish a family story a little bit. Like my grandfather worked on the nuclear bomb. Well, what was he doing? Well, he was screwing the bolts into the plane. So,
Yeah.
so I think they're
Yeah.
just stories you tell to make you feel better.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they come from.
That's true. What do you think?
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
Kind of got all the points.
That was
Alright.
a lucky answer.
Oh, okay? I want to ask this question because I want to see what you guys think about this. Because okay, did the Vikings really reach North America before Columbus?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, I think definitely.
yeah,
I think the question you asked about them being underrated, criminally underrated, because they were exploring The parts of the ocean that in reality, all ocean voyages were probably very rough, but the goddamn Titanic sank coming across the North Atlantic. It was the greatest ship ever built. The Vikings were coming over wooden ships and navigating their way through the ice and crap. I think yes,
Yeah.
and I think that they came over and they determined there was nothing to conquer and they couldn't utilize it, so they went back home and
Yeah.
back to where they lived. Whereas Columbus came over and felt like he could enslave the people and pass on disease and shit like that.
Yeah. What secrets are still hidden beneath the sands of Egypt?
Jesus Christ. That's a question and a half. Oh my God. What secrets? I think that's where Noah's Ark is hidden.
Wait. Okay, so that's
I'm
a tough
just- I'm
question. You
just
think you
kidding.
can answer this question?
The what secrets are hidden?
Yeah.
I think in reality the biggest secrets are how the Egyptians were an advanced society and so smart, but it was all built on the backs of slaves who were all buried underneath in the sands of the desert. So they enslaved a lot of people to do everything they do. So I think the slaves are buried there. All the different types of slaves that they had are buried in the sands, and that's the big secret. That was the success of their society, was their intellect and the fact they had free labor.
All right.
Deep.
What do you think?
I was gonna say like their tools or something.
That's
I don't
good.
know.
Okay. Which ancient ruler had the wildest lifestyle?
Caligula. They made a movie about him. It was like X-rated. That's all I know. He's from Rome.
Rome?
Yeah,
What do you do?
he did a lot of nasty things that I can't talk about on a podcast.
Say something that's not that crazy.
He was very what's the word? He was into toga orgies. It was a movie.
Toga orgies?
Oh,
Well, you told me to be playing about it.
Ooh.
That's a good question, though. I have
I don't know. I feel like they were all like probably pretty bad back then.
Angus Khan,
Yeah, maybe like
Yeah, I was
Genghis
about to
Khan.
say.
the chill of the Hun.
Yeah.
Because he literally, I saw something where it's like, like 2% of the whole world's population, it comes from like
Yeah.
Genghis
Yeah,
Khan
I
or
saw
something.
that.
I don't know
And-
if that's
And
true,
he
but
changed like the CO2 levels or something.
yeah, he changed like something like that.
There's there's probably a lot of them back there that we don't even think about, like Khan and Attila the Hun and Alexander the Great taking the elephants over the Alps to conquer people.
Took elephants over the Alps.
Through the Alps in order.
Wait, the Alps is in.
The Alps as in Central Europe, yes, in Europe.
That's like
I'm
in
pretty sure.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany, Switzerland, Northern Italy.
How did it even have elephants?
Well, he just goes and gets them at the elephant store.
No, but how did he even get elephants?
He got them. He rounded them up and marched them across. Is that story true?
What story?
The Alexander the Great took elephants over the Alps, right?
I think that was Hannibal, not Alexander.
Who? Hannibal. You're right. I'm
Who's
wrong.
Hannibal?
Whatever.
It's the king of Carthage.
Geo saved me. Sorry, I misspoke my history. Somebody took
I was
elephants.
about to say, how does he have elephants?
Well,
He
because
probably
would
got
he
them
have
from
elephants?
You go to India, or South Africa, whoever. The elephants are in Africa. The tigers in India, and you get them. You put like a little leash on them. You walk them up.
This tiger. Oh,
That was
I don't
probably,
know how
that
we
was probably
got
treacherous.
I don't know. It was Hannibal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You're right. Geo saved me. Thanks, Geo. What did Alexander the Great was like 16 years old and conquering things. That's right. And Hannibal took the elephants over to go after the
After Rome.
Romans.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Oh boy, the splotchy history in the mind of Mr.
imagine that. Imagine like you're about to fight, and then you see a bunch of just
Bunch of elephants.
elephants in the front row.
So like Star Wars, when those big walking things go across the desert, and
Yeah.
all they have to do is
Yeah.
rope them around, they fall over. Jeez, you don't even need what is this lightsaber for that? That's actually a really good question. Scrolling through. Dead Air. The killer.
What?
Dead Air, the killer of a podcast.
Oh, I have a good one. Which ancient army was the most feared?
I'd probably go back to, like Josh said, Genghis Khan or Attila Han, one of those.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any fear, and they were mongrels and stuff
Brutal.
like that. Brutal.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm sure the Roman armies were feared.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
the Vikings.
Vikings probably feared. The French definitely weren't feared. All the French did was make French fries. So, yeah. All right. What's next? That's actually a tough one.
Okay, let me see.
Marco Polo. Oh, he was in an army.
Marco Polo.
He didn't do an army.
What did he do? He like discovered.
Trade routes.
Did he discover anything? I know
He was a trade
went
routes.
around the world and stuff.
He developed trade routes between through from Asia into Europe, so that the goods and services that Europe and or Asia were building and creating were able to get from point A to point B, so to China and Asia, and then over through Jerusalem to the European countries and lands. I think that's what he did. Plus, they made a game after him, which I don't even know how that works.
He's a bridge too.
Yeah,
Who?
Marco Polo.
Oh.
His nickname was Water, Marco Water Polo.
Bro.
Dad joke.
Okay. Which ancient European army was the strongest?
Jeez. Josh, you got to bail me out here.
I don't know.
Let's make up an ancient European army. The Germans. No, they weren't German then, though. They were the
What
Russians.
from when?
How ancient is ancient?
Oh, I'm just saying like not like ancient, like just like
Okay, some of those
like
Spain?
Spain with the Armada, maybe.
Okay.
Britain was always tough.
Yeah.
Because the Romans ancient Europeans? Call them.
That's crazy. I don't know.
But I tell you, some of the battles
That's
they
from,
had,
like-
like in Ireland and Scotland and Great Britain, some of those warriors, they were tough dudes. Those Scottish and Irish guys were tough dudes, even though they got slaughtered by the British. They were tough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having like the dude Braveheart. I wouldn't mind having him in my corner.
Yeah. Oh, do you think Atlantis was real?
Josh, you answer first.
I don't know. Maybe like something like Atlantis, but I don't know if it's what they say it is.
I think we go back to the myth being true or not. I think it's probably a story of an ancient civilization that might have existed, but we already have all the great ancient. We know the ancient civilizations, and we know what they call the cradle of civilizations, like Egypt and the places in South America and in China. But everyone's still, they're still there. But now this is like an imaginary thing under the water. Was it underwater when it existed? I think it's a myth. I don't think it ever existed.
I don't know. Maybe like there was one and it flooded,
Maybe.
and now it's underwater. But I feel like
Wouldn't
would've-
we have found it by
seen
now?
that thing where it's like Atlantis is underwater or something.
But wouldn't we have found something by now?
probably yeah.
Yeah, but
With all the technology that we have,
maybe they're hiding. Maybe someone's hiding it.
could be behind the ice wall.
Yeah, probably.
Next question. Can we do a sports question?
You want to do a sports question?
Do one or two of these, and I don't care.
Was Julius Caesar saving Rome or destroying democracy?
Could he be both?
Yeah.
He's an interesting character again because he got assassinated. He was like one of those dudes. I think that democracy and Rome don't really go together. So I'd say he was saving Rome from a true democracy. So if you're the emperor, it doesn't really bode well for all the serfs and peasants out there. So I would go with A. He was saving Rome and trying to, and again it comes back to power. He was in power. How do you keep power? So it's just the story of mankind has always been money and power, and he wanted to keep his power, and he would do anything he had to. and they were fed up with his methods and they killed him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's probably why they killed him. Because they didn't like what he was doing with it.
Right. That's actually a good question too.
Who do you think was? This might be this is a big question. Like this is like a big question.
Okay, go.
Who do you think was the greatest historical figure of all time?
Oh,
All time.
greatest historical figure of all time. Wow. Does it have to be real? No,
I say yeah.
Okay.
I say yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, keep religion out of it?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
Like no, yeah. I'm saying like
The greatest historical figure of all time. Wow. Oh, man. I would go, you know what's funny is the printing press, was that Gutenberg? Right? Guys like that who helped us explode out of the Dark Ages. You know, the Michelangelos and Da Vinci's who helped us with knowledge. But the greatest historical, those are things that I think would play into that. But, geez, that is a tough question. What do you mean by greatest?
Most influential?
I'd say yeah. Just
So-
like in general, just like greatest.
So, like George
greatest
Washington.
impact, like had
Like
a
George
great
Washington.
impact.
George Washington, the way he started the country, had impact because we weren't going to a king or a dictator. And he laid out, that philosophy got laid out 250 years ago. But was he the greatest historian? Maybe for the United States he might have been. Like Abe Lincoln, the same way when the country divided. But is there another figure who was, you know, one of the kings or queens of England who expanded their territories, or was it Queen Isabella who kicked Columbus in the butt to get over here from Spain? But that's a great tough question. I have no idea what the answer to that one is. Why don't you give me a couple of things you think, and I'll tell you. Josh, who do you think?
I don't know. For America, probably like George Washington.
I would say maybe like
Like,
Alexander the Great
Because why? Because he was
because
the
all of
great.
his accomplishments.
yeah, I don't know.
That's a really tough question.
Yeah, I knew.
If you asked 100 people that question, I bet you would get 100 different answers.
Yeah.
Like if you ask somebody from China, they might say Confucius. But he's religious, isn't he? We can't use him.
I thought it was
Or
just a
Probably some
philosopher.
Chinese dude.
If you went to the USSR,
And they say some Russian guy.
they might say John Lennon, not John Lennon.
John
Vladimir-
Lennon.
Paul McCartney and John Lennon. And you go to America. Yeah, that would be interesting to see what the answers would be. If you asked the man on the street that question, I would bet you would get a ton of different answers. But I would say right now, if you asked everyone, the number one person ever that would get the most votes would be a religious figure.
Yeah.
Number one. That's because if that's, I would think people would say that either
It would be
Jesus Christ or
God
Muhammad.
or whatever,
Yeah.
something like
Depends
that.
who you ask. So that's actually a tough one.
Yeah.
Can you ask me an easy one now?
Okay. What do you think was the most? I just thought of this. What do you think was the most like boring war, in in like American history? What do you think was the most boring war, and what do you think was like? I wouldn't say like the coolest, but like.
The Mexican-American
You know what
War
I'm
was
saying?
very boring.
All right.
I don't know. War of 1812, boring.
Yeah.
The first Iraq War, boring. I was alive for that one. I was watching a Temple basketball game, and
Everything goes
they
back
interrupted
to Temple.
everything. They interrupted the whole game to show me that we started bombing from Kuwait, Iraq. I was pissed. I was trying to watch the game. I go with that one. That was the H.W. Bush one, to Iraq, and then some of the earlier ones. There's a lot of little wars that we were in that were like
Boring.
Save the Alamo. Remember that? Remember the Alamo? Those wars.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting war? There's
Yeah.
never an exciting war.
Like-
I'm saying like coolest like badass
Coolest
war.
badass war.
Probably World War II.
Yeah, I'm going that.
Like who do you think so what American veterans from like what do you
War
think
II
were the
veterans.
toughest like
World War II all the way.
yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. They call them the greatest generation.
Yeah.
Now, because if you think about this, with D-Day, they loaded these guys on a boat, and they knew, Eisenhower knew, that he was going to lose 40% of his men, just in that operation. Think about the what you have to be made of to be able to do that, and they're paratrooper. I would say those people who fought that war are probably they were just a lot of young kids from the farms and everything else, in the cities, who just went and battled on 2 different fronts for as Americans. The veterans that get screwed the most to me are the Vietnam vets, who are again same type of kids, not wealthy, poor kids from the cities and the farms, get drafted in. They send them over there, and they get almost to somewhat certain death, and they are very, very, very underrated as veterans. And I think that we never gave them their proper due for what they did, because it was a black mark on us. But I would say World War II vets, they called them the greatest generation. They did fight a great war, and I think the most underrated vets are the Vietnam vets, because they weren't really appreciated for the sacrifices that they had to make.
What do you think?
Yeah, the same thing. Well, definitely World War II, but I think, underrated was probably Vietnam, because when they came back, everybody hated them.
Right. Think about that. You come back from a war, think you're going to be a war here, and everyone, that's not true, everyone hated it. Everyone hated the war.
Yeah.
But they didn't get there. There were no big parades, and I was alive, 74, 75. I was 13 years old.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
And it was not, they weren't welcomed with open arms, because a lot of them were opposed to the war anyway. But we did a good service for them. If you've ever been to D.C. to the Vietnam Memorial, which is the black slab with the names, it's incredible to walk through it. And I think that it took a long time for us, like Josh said, to appreciate what the service that they gave us. And I think they are the most, not underrated, it's not the right word, they're the most forgotten of in a war that was a bad war overall for us, but they still served, and most of them didn't volunteer, and a lot of them paid for it with their lives for thinking about what did we gain. So I feel those are the veterans I think that we should be looking at and honoring and thank you for your service, those guys. That's how I look at Vietnam. Because like I said, I was alive when they came back. I was alive when all that stuff happened.
Do you think the American Revolution is like is boring? Do you think that was like, do you think it's interesting, or you think it's boring?
I would go boring, but it's interesting. If you're a military historian, interesting. I watched Ken Burns did the Revolutionary War thing. I watched some of that. There's just, again, we go back to knowledge, and we don't have video of it. We don't have there were no pictures. It's all drawings. It's all recollections of what people fought. A lot of those guys, like if you think about Valley Forge, you're fighting in New England and in the northern states in the wintertime, and you had basically nothing. How cold they must have been. But they battled, and they had great leadership, and the Britons were fighting on wars on all different fronts. But I don't think it's boring. I just think that we just don't have enough knowledge and, visual effects of it. So, 2 good questions in a row. What's next?
I'm gonna go back to another war thing. What is your favorite war to talk about, or what do you like? You know what I'm saying? What do you know the most? What do you like to talk about the most? What war would you say?
We'll go to Josh first.
What is your favorite war to talk about?
Probably World War II, because the most happened. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, a two-front war and stuff.
That's a good question too. I think you have to be a history buff and a military buff to think what would be something. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a ton about any war. When we're at home, my son did the Civil War with in high school, and he knows a lot of that stuff. I only know enough. I probably know enough to be stupid about it, and that's a very hard thing for a guy with an ego like I have to admit. But like I talk with you guys about stuff that you just did in school. Like I'd love to take the World War II class with Jones at school because I think he does. I think it sounds like it's exciting and he's working on things.
Yeah.
But from a perspective I cannot speak eloquently probably on any war. I can speak on the periphery of stuff. I would love to know more about the Civil War because a lot of the battles happened within 50, 60 miles where I grew up.
Yeah.
Down Gettysburg and Chambersburg and the places around D.C. and in Maryland. But I would say if I could get more knowledge, I'd like to have more knowledge on the Civil War, and then the end of World War II and the creating the bomb and the decisions that Truman had to make to drop the bomb on, knowing he was going to kill the population. Just like I said about the guys in D-Day who they just put them on these transport vehicles and the Germans, because I've been there to Normandy, the Germans are up on the top of the cliff. All they're doing is shooting people down. I mean, just a matter of numbers. But that's a tough one. It's tough for me to admit with my ego that I don't know a lot of stuff about. I don't know enough in-depth stuff. I just know from traveling to some of those places.
What do you think?
He said
I
World
already
War
answered.
II.
You said World War II?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you answered.
All right,
Jim's
next.
chatting.
I love to chat. See, that's the problem with having me on. I talk all that. If you talk, then when I do my show, Wildcat Sports Update, I don't get to, I ask the questions. I'll sit
Yeah.
in here with anybody and do this.
Okay, this is I don't know. This might be how dirty were ancient cities really? You think
They were very dirty.
yeah. I know like
Yeah.
ancient like England, like I know that was like
Well, think about it.
real
Where,
dirty because I heard of they wouldn't shower or like they wouldn't like bathe like
well, because they couldn't. Where
I mean you could do water,
the
you could
sewage
use
go?
water, but like they
Where-
wouldn't like
think about where
they wouldn't poop. They're like pooping like leaving
Where-
on the street.
where-
my
no,
God.
that's true. No, you're right. Where'd the sewage go?
I heard like
Dirty is not the word for it. That's why you think
like just imagine you walk into like a castle and imagine just the smell like
no, you're right.
Don't
I
they
did.
have
Castle.
like poop shoots in castles?
You know what? That's a tough
imagine how
question.
much poop was in there.
I don't know
My
where.
God.
So think about it. Probably the greatest invention was the indoor toilet because it got rid of all the.
Yeah.
Because that carries disease.
We didn't even
and-
talk about that
And that
one,
stuff,
the
and
invention.
trash and stuff carries disease. It doesn't carry disease. It brings the rats, which then.
Probably
carry
why there was so
disease.
many diseases back in the day because they were
Exactly
just
right.
nasty.
And why lifespan was probably shorter because there
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't sanitary. I think yes, they were dirty. It wasn't because they knew any better.
Yeah.
They didn't know any better. They were just dirty.
What do you think about like the Romans? You think they were all dirty? Like everyone was dirty?
Well, the Romans came up with the aqueduct system to move water in.
Wait,
and out.
what was that one like civilization that like was known for being like really clean?
I have no idea. The clean people of South America.
I don't know if it was like
The
Greece.
penguins
I don't know
in-
if it was like Greece or something.
The penguins
like that.
outside the ice wall.
Dude, shut up about the ice wall, bro.
I just learned about the ice wall, so I'm very curious about it. But dude, these are good questions. Now keep rolling.
What if Alex? This is a tough one.
No, it's not. Nothing's tough.
What if Alexander the Great lived another 30 years?
That's tough because I don't know much.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's a
But
tough
if
one.
he lived another 30 years, just like if Kennedy lived another 30 years, it's the same type of thing.
Yeah, Duke Kennedy.
If Kennedy lives another 30 years, oof, Duke Kennedy. Wow. If Kennedy had not been assassinated, we'll say that. I still think we'd gone to Vietnam. I don't think we got civil rights bills passed. He would have been Robert would have been progressing us towards more of a civil rights atmosphere. By Kennedy being assassinated, Johnson got a lot of that stuff done. But Vietnam might not have exploded the way it did as well. But the Kennedy thing, who knows? He could have been not elected in '64 because his popularity wouldn't be as popular today as he is because there would have been more to his story. But because his story expired when he got assassinated. Josh.
Yeah, probably Vietnam would be like, what's it called?
It'd be
I don't know what the
hung
word is. Like, it still would have happened, but it wouldn't have been as big of a problem as it was.
But it would have been his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he would have like? Do you think we would have been better off if? Do you think we're better off that he got killed, or do you think like the country would have got like progressively better if he was stayed alive?
I don't think we were better off. It's never better off if somebody gets killed, even though there's some people we oppose.
I
But
didn't mean it like that.
no, I know what you're
That's
saying.
for the country.
No, you're right. That's a hard one to answer. I think that a lot of things happened because Johnson took initiative. We still went to the moon, which he wanted us to go to. I think maybe our STEM side might have been even more advanced. We did pump a lot of money into educating our people into science and technology. But, oh boy, I would say it's never good. I think because he got assassinated, things happened that might not have happened for another 10 years. But with Martin Luther King around and his brother, we were making slow progress towards some type of civil right movement. But again, the pendulum swings and swings one way and swings back. So, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just, and again, I was technically alive for a lot of that, but I just don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe like some things would have been better. I don't know.
But he wouldn't have survived in today's world because of social media and all the dalliances he had with
Yeah, he would have been
different
cooked.
women.
He would have ended up like Vrabel.
All right, next.
I feel like this is a good one. Which ancient civilization would you want to visit for one day?
Egypt. To see if they had aliens.
I feel like you'd get killed if you went to ancient Egypt.
I think Josh, Egypt. I'd like to go back to the ancient Greece and see really whether they were the intellectual and well, quote unquote democracy that they were, just to see what it was like, because that really is the birthplace. That's where the thing of democracy formed. Egypt I'd go to today.
Yeah.
As well, but I think if I had I'll give Josh Egypt because he's right. To see if there's aliens, it's funny. But I'd like to go back to ancient Greece and see if it really what it was like, and how dirty it was.
Oh, I got a good one. Was the Wild West really as violent as movies portrayed it?
I know nothing about the Wild West. I'm not gonna lie.
I would say probably yes, because if you give a man a gun, and
I think it might have been wilder.
you think so, it might have been because it was open land and people were
It's like no law. It's like it kills.
self-policing themselves.
Yeah.
So they probably embellished a little bit in movies because they always do. But
Yeah.
I think you were dealing with a certain set of humans that went out there, because not only were they dealing with other humans, they were also we were invading Indian populations as well, or Native American, populations as well, and I think you had to deal with that, and that made it even wilder, and I think they were free to kill whoever they wanted to kill. So yeah, I think it was probably worse and better. He said he didn't know.
I mean, if there was no laws, and yeah, it was probably worse.
Yeah.
But was ancient civilizations worse? What makes, here's a question for you, Noah, then. What makes today not the Wild West?
Obviously the law. I think all that happened over there because there was no law and like there was nothing really going on. I don't know.
So today,
Wait, what was the question?
well, today we do have laws, but why in 200 years they can look back and say, well, that was like Wild West period because they were rounding up immigrants, they were shooting people in the streets. Is that any different than the Wild West?
Is today any different than
Yeah.
the Wild West? Not really.
Except
Same stuff happens all the time, every day.
Right. Good.
I guess the difference would be that like the Wild West was more like there wasn't really that much going on, but like nowadays, like in the cities and stuff, it's still happening. So,
Right.
but I guess you could say like because now we have like police and stuff, but like back in the Wild West, I don't think
There was
they had
nobody.
lawmen. But do you really think lawmen were really like?
Right.
I have a question. You think they were really like effective in the Wild West, the lawmen?
I think they were
really did
effective to
anything?
the extent that they could at least maintain some semblance of order, but a lot of them, they just shot the
They're like
lawmen.
bounty hunters.
Yeah,
like
they
that
were
was
just-
like,
yeah.
most of the lawmen were probably just random dudes that were
They,
trying
just,
to get
and
a
who,
bounty.
they put a sheriff's badge on them. They
Yeah.
shot people up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
You know Wyatt Earp?
Yeah, he was the Wild West dude.
Yeah, he was the lawman. Do you think he deserved his like heroic reputation?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not? Got to give him some credit.
I guess.
It's like Buffalo Bill.
Who I've heard the name, but I forget
He was Buffalo Bill Cody.
He was He was like a lawman, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was like a showman.
Bunch of
I don't know.
something.
Anybody
like
know? I have no idea. I know they named a football team after him, the Buffalo Bills.
that. Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time.
Wild West could have developed peacefully, without like all like the
No.
settlers and the tribes violent, like all the violence
No.
and stuff. No,
No, because back to
because
power and money is.
and because not no one like not one time in like history has anything ever been like developed peacefully. Like there's always been fighting
Why?
because people want to fight. People fight over land,
Right.
and no one wants to be like. A lot of people don't really want to be together with different groups of people. That's just history. Like it's
Right.
always been like that.
So the West is probably the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it developed as it developed, but as the populations grew, it was easier to manage.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think that. Okay, you got to finish out with a toughie.
All right.
All these history what if questions that we got. What if the Red Sox hadn't sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
I
butterfly.
don't know.
effect.
Like, do you want like a question about something like a certain topic or like?
Just pick one out. We'll do it.
All right.
Because I had a lot of fun doing this.
What if Alexander the Great had invaded Western Europe?
He would have conquered Western Europe, and the languages would have been all different, and the world would have been a crazy-ass place, and I wouldn't even be named Jim Boyle.
Yeah, you'd be like
I'd be like Alexander or something.
Jim the
Alexander.
Great.
Jim the Great. What if I don't know. That's like too deep.
Probably the languages.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Mostly.
Did you come up with something fun?
Yeah.
Like, what if they never invented ice cream? Well, I wouldn't be as fat as I am. It's one thing.
What if they never invented refrigerators?
You think dragons are real?
Yes. I think T-Rexes were dragons.
And giants? I think giants were real.
Dragons and giants. Well, there are dragonflies, and there are snapdragons, and there's Dungeons and Dragons. So it's definitely real.
All right. What do
There
you?
were dragons.
Okay.
Did you
Okay.
see like T-Rex fossils
There
and
were-
like how
yeah.
little their arms are?
Yeah, there were dragons.
So
Yeah,
they
that's a
probably
good
had
point.
wings.
There were dragons in Harry Potter, so they have to be real. They were flying around and stuff. Hey.
You think like? Do you really think like the myths are real? Like
No, I don't
European
believe.
myths.
I
Like,
think I'm going with Josh that there were probably creatures.
you don't think giants are real.
What giants? What, the New York Giants?
No,
San Francisco?
dude, like
Like,
giants.
Where
What
would they
giant?
be
Where's
real,
their
though?
giant?
Have you seen like the Himalayan? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like deep,
They found like
deep.
pieces of the Himalayan. It's like the same type of like minerals or whatever that's like inside human bodies. Like
I say no on
Himalayan
giants. I think
caves or
in
something like
giants. I
that.
think again it comes down to the perspective of whoever was seeing this big. Let's say like Shaq, right? We transport Shaq back to the
Alright, bro.
BC time. No, listen to me.
no, I know.
There
but
would be a Shaq there, and they see a Shaq. Oh, giant, because he is a giant to them.
I'm saying like giant, dude. Have you
What
seen?
does that mean
Like,
by
what do you mean,
giant?
Big,
giant?
like-
like 20 feet.
I don't
No.
know about 20 feet, but like
Then it's not a human.
maybe like 10 feet.
It's probably an
plus,
elephant.
like,
I
something,
like
something that's unhumanly like.
I like the T-Rex idea from Josh. I think he's got a little bit of a
Okay, we think dragons are real.
no.
What do you mean, bro?
Dragons, like
Dragons
maybe,
could basically just be like, a
that-
dinosaur.
so like
Yeah,
dragons,
dinosaur times.
So a beast that can fly and shoot flame out of his mouth. Where
Yeah.
the hell's the flame
no,
coming
dude,
from?
that's just like in movies, like
Well, that's what I'm thinking of. A dragon.
a dragon, like a big thing that flies, dude.
yeah, minus the flames.
Like I
So
don't
the
know.
dragon doesn't fly, or does?
No, the dragon flies, but it
Giants
doesn't shoot
definitely
flames.
didn't exist. There's no such way that giants existed. And dragons, I'm gonna go. I think Josh had a great point. You know, like the T-Rex going around like this. That's like alligator arms when the check comes, like that. But I think Dragons, maybe because of Josh's answer, and giants, absolutely, positively not.
That's crazy. You don't think at
You don't think
all?
like big people,
Big people, but they're not giants.
but like huge people.
yeah, like Shaq. Shaq is a
I
big
guess,
human.
yeah.
Shaq's a big boy.
Well, wasn't the average height like a lot less?
Yes. The average height in my family is a lot less too, though. So like everyone's a giant in my family. That's an interesting, good way to.
Yeah,
discuss-
because bro, I know the tallest like dude was like
You
literally
looked
like
it up.
9 feet tall.
Yeah,
so I mean, it could just
is that
be
a
like,
giant?
They could be like, oh yeah, maybe there's some dude who's 9 feet tall
So
and like
back to your question of if is a myth real? You asked that question earlier, and a myth is a story that is told by people who can't explain something. So this big Shaq dude, who comes lumbering into your village, and you're 4'9" and he's 7'5" and weighs 350 pounds. Of course, he's going to be a giant. Any other questions there? Because we have to wrap up because my stomach's starting to growl. It's getting hungry. Getting hungry here. I thought you'd cater my lunch.
there's no. I mean, there's food here. I bet.
Okay,
You
just
want to go eat?
okay. I'll give you
You want me to ask him one more?
one more as tough, and Josh has to answer first.
All right.
It's as hard as you
If
can
it's
make
easy
it.
enough.
Should I do some like American thing?
Do one thing, whatever. You make it up in the top of your head.
All right. Who's your favorite American like historical figure? I'll do that. Like, who's your favorite?
Flight reacts.
Who?
All right, Flight Reacts.
Who the hell's that?
Flight
That's
reacts.
Dut.
Who? First of all, guys, who is
Dut
this?
Dut Reacts.
He's the most influential person in America.
What's he do?
Dut Reacts.
Influences people.
He's an influencer.
Influences people.
What's he influencing on?
Great things.
Huh?
Great things.
YouTube.
What great thing? Is this a real person?
It's a real person. I swear to
I hear
God.
he's a chud. Is that true? Chud?
He's not a chud.
He is a chud. Cap. That's Cap.
No.
Chud.
Wait, what was the question? My favorite?
Great. The,
Favorite American
Great.
historical figure.
that's a good question.
Michael Jackson.
Good. I'm going with John Glenn.
Who?
John Glenn.
What do you do?
Do you know who he is?
I don't
John
know.
Glenn was here we go. John Glenn was an astronaut. He was in the second orbit.
Oh, did he land on the moon?
No, he didn't land on the moon. He was
Nobody
the first
landed on the
American.
moon.
He's the first American to orbit the Earth. He was on his second orbit the minute I was born. He was orbiting the Earth. The day I was born, he was the first American to orbit the Earth.
Really?
Yep. Another Jim Boyle story for you. The day I was born, February 20th, 1962, orbit number 2, about 10:30ish. I decided I'm going to make my appearance to the world at large, and John Glenn's up orbiting the Earth, first American to do it.
I would say Paul Pierce.
I'd say Shaquille
Oh, Kevin Garnett.
No, I would say.
Dude, I think when I was born, either Kevin Garnett or Paul Pierce was in the hospital at the same time.
Really?
I swear.
What year were you born?
Because 2008 when they won.
2008. What year were you born?
2008.
Jeez, there.
I swear, that's something. I think my mom and my dad.
You know
was
what's
that.
funny?
I think
2008.
he was
I
like-
was 46 years old. Is that right? Yeah.
we were 46.
In 2008. Yeah.
That's not that old. So my papa was probably.
As I look back on it, no, it wasn't that old. But most influential, most favorite American. I just do John Glenn because it's a good story for me. I like that story. It's a good episode. We're gonna do like an hour of talking.
This is a tough one. Not gonna lie.
The favorite
All
American.
right, last question.
That's it. Is that the last one you want to do?
Did you have one more question, Josh?
No, I
You
know.
want to ask
I
a
thought
question?
you had one
You want to ask
question.
a question?
I don't think I have a question.
What about you?
I have
To
a
finish
million
it off.
questions. First of all, who the hell's this influencer talking about? Second of all,
Doug.
why do
No,
people
you know.
think they? Here's the question: why do people think they can make money influencing things?
Because there's so many
Because they
people
can.
that say
They
it's
do it
so
all
easy.
the time.
And why do everybody gamble so much?
Because
Because
they want
it's
to win.
easy money.
And why am I so fat?
You eat a lot of
It's
food.
not a lot of food. I think it's hereditary. How about this? Okay, last question for the two of you. Who was your favorite teacher in high school?
Teacher?
Teacher.
Oh,
Number one
Mr.
teacher.
Jones probably.
Mr. Jones. World War
A hard
II.
question. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Josh.
Like, I had Mr. Jones twice, so I would say Mr. Jones, but like, outside of teaching, probably Miss B.
Miss B.
But like, I think Mr. Jones, I learned the most from his class.
Good.
Yeah, Mr. Jones is definitely my favorite. I don't think I really liked any other teachers really.
Well, you
Mr.
guys-
Randall.
Randall's
I like
cool.
Mr. Randall.
You guys have good knowledge. You got good World War II knowledge and stuff. You have war
Yeah, I
knowledge.
know.
Yeah, it's because
I
of Mr.
know a little
Jones.
bit.
Yeah, I think that's the class. If I could take a class, I'd like to take his class, and I think I guest spoke in Miss B's class about journalism asking questions. I guest spoke in Clegg's class on podcasting,
Yeah.
and I
I
taught
forgot that was a class.
the
oh yeah. We should
I
have
taught for Miss Maffatone when she was on maternity leave for 7 months. You guys were freshmen that year,
Yeah, that's
4 years
crazy.
ago.
What do you? Okay, so I have a question about World War II. Just it's not a crazy question, but do you think, what would you like the Pacific side or the or like
Atlantic
the
all the
Europe
way.
side?
I do Europe all the way.
Really?
I don't want to be out in the middle of the
Oh,
ocean.
Pacific was
it's
kind of
cooler.
interesting.
I think it's cooler.
You're out in the
I think
middle
it's
of
more
water.
badass.
I mean, I didn't learn that much about Europe because I had it second semester. But
I still
They
say
stuck these dudes in like crazy weather, bro, on the islands, dude. They don't know.
I think
where
there was.
they're
I
at.
think that
they've never even left like wherever they're from. Like,
after
I mean, I guess Europe. Like,
after D-Day. It's hard. I don't want Pacific. I do Europe. I don't want to be out in a ship for 50,000 years and have the Japanese shooting at me all the time.
no, I'm saying, what do you think?
Kamikaze pilots.
Yeah,
and
I'm
dra-
not saying which one would you fight in.
Oh,
I would probably fight in.
which one do I,
I don't
find
know.
Which
more
one do you find more interesting?
I said still Europe. I think I've been.
And you would rather fight in Europe instead of.
Yeah, and I think that the caveat to that is I've been to Berlin, and I've been to Nuremberg, and I've been to Normandy, and Paris and London to Churchill's underground stuff, and I just find that there's just something intriguing about the decision making that to take over and to get the Germans and to corner them and to make that to me is more exciting. Japan and Pearl Harbor it's too much. It's too much to it. The Japanese were suicidal.
Yeah,
Kamikaze
imagine trying
was
to fight.
crazy.
Yeah, imagine trying to fight the.
Yes.
Like, you're trying to fight the Japanese would be. I feel like
Like,
I'd
you
rather
would have
fight
to
the
kill them.
Japanese than fight
No.
because the Japanese just will run at you, and all you gotta do is shoot them, but they don't care about dying, so I'll just kill them.
That's a good way to end it. I think that like I said, I've never been I've never been to Japan.
You never been to Japan?
Never been
Do you
to
want to
Japan.
go? I wanna
Eventually,
go.
I'd like to go to Japan, China. I want to go to Egypt.
North Korea.
No. Australia, I'd like to go to. So yeah, I think having been there and seen that, I wish I knew more. Like I said, I'd love to take Jones's class like as a like Proctor's class and sit there because I think he teaches it really well.
Yeah, he does.
And I hear him yelling and screaming. And he shows a lot of movies and
Yeah.
they give you a lot of fill in the background. But if you guys both had him, I think I'm sure you learned a lot. And you
Yeah.
can, it's evident
That's
by the way you
yeah.
ask the questions.
Yeah.
very interactive.
Yes. All right.
Have
Now,
you, how was Israel? You been to Israel?
I've been to Israel for business. I was there for 2 weeks.
How was it?
I went in '97. My wife was pregnant with my first daughter, and 2 weeks before I went, there was a bombing, and 2 weeks after I went, there was a bombing in
A
the
bombing?
marketplace.
Like someone bombed them? Who
Suicide
bombed them?
bombers. Suicide bombers. One was at a Sbarro pizza place, which I remember
heard
driving
it?
by. No, I was in the 2 weeks I was there was in between the bombs.
Oh.
But Israel's an interesting place for a lot of reasons. With Jerusalem and seeing there are a lot of historic things like the wall outside the new wall outside of Jerusalem is older than our country, and then the Western Wall is like 2,000 years old. So everything's old, but I can see how there are disputes because of that piece of land.
Did you kiss the wall?
No, I did. No, I didn't. No. I'll tell you one more story because it's fun to tell stories. Someday when I die, I'll be able to replay all my stories. So I have my boss and a coworker who was like a boss. They were over there with me. So they picked me up. I was standing in Tel Aviv. They picked me up in their car. We drive the back roads to Jerusalem. And they show me, one guy's a real historical buff and one guy's a religious buff. So he's pointing out all the burned out tanks and Jeeps there. They still left them on the road from one of the wars. So we get there, we eat dinner outside the wall. We decide we're going to go into the Western Wall, which is it's historical, and on top is the Temple Mount. Was once the Temple Mount, now is the Dome of the Rock, which is a mosque. And we go in there, and it's nighttime, And I got this Roger Clemens 21 strikeout shirt, so I can't be any more American.
Yeah.
I can't stick out like more like a sore thumb. So we go in there, and my Jewish, not Jew, they're both Jewish. The cantor who was into religion is explaining to me what's happening. I have no idea. There have to be 1 million people in this square, little, probably quarter mile by quarter mile square area where the wall is, and they're all going up to the wall. They put messages in, they kiss it, and everything else. And he goes up, he does his thing, and I'm about to go up to do my thing, and just whatever you do, like touch it, and it's weird. And it's like a scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everyone who's in the spot, they all start leaving at once. Now I'm shitting my pants. I have no idea what's going on. They all just, they're gone. All of a sudden, 1,000 people right out the door, right out the gate. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And what happened was the rabbi left, and everyone left with him. So everyone's at the wall, and all of a sudden this mass of people is streaming by me, and I have no idea what's happening. Like I said, like all I could think of was Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that. And it was weird, but I didn't kiss the wall because of that, because I never got up to the wall because I was probably crapping my pants.
Yeah.
But that's my story about Jerusalem.
So you were going to kiss the wall.
I was probably going to go up and maybe peck it. Do a little peck, a peck on the
Packet.
peck on the cheek or something. But that's
Jim's gonna make out with the wall.
That's my story. Someday I have 1 million stories to tell. We won't tell them now. But that's my Jerusalem. I've been to Tel Aviv. I stayed in Tel Aviv. I've been to Jerusalem. I've been up to the Dead Sea. I floated in the Dead Sea. Covered myself.
Floated
in
in the
mud.
Dead Sea.
Yeah, you land. It's all salt, so you lay on top of it. You don't sink. And I covered myself with Dead Sea mud. I went to Masada.
You covered yourself in mud.
Yeah, I got a picture. I'll have to show you. And I've got. I met a lot of people, and it was eye opening. I did all the Christian stuff you do within Jerusalem as well. So, but I did go. It's not really as safe as it used to be, but it's if you really into the history and stuff, I recommend if you could get it on the list, get it on the list.
Thanks for joining us. What if it's true? Yeah, we'll sign it out. So see you next time.